Hey guys, it's Becca. Welcome back to today's video. I am in the mood for a thriller read today. It is currently snowing outside in Alberta, and it's probably I'm gonna jinx myself. It may be the last Christmas type snow that we have because it's spring and everything's melting and it's getting gross outside. So I want to take advantage because snow to me is, outside of Christmas, is thriller, cabin in the woods, spooky kind of vibes. And I have the house to myself tonight. I want to do a bubble bath, drink some wine, read all evening. It's going to be glorious. So we're going to pick a thriller and see what we can find. Okay, so we have, let's see if we can get this in frame here. All right, so we have a couple things. I'm already seeing That's Not My Name by Megan Lawley. It's got cabin in the wood vibes. Sleep Tight is a horror, and I'm gonna hold tight to that one quite yet. We've got The Crash by Frida McFadden. This might be a good contender because it's snowing. And then, there's also this one. So everyone in my family has killed someone. However, I'm going to save this because I have an idea for what I want to do for another video. So we're going to actually hold on to this and set it aside because I'll be coming up soon. And then let's take a look at my shelves. Okay, so we got a fair amount of thrillers to choose from here. And these ones I'm going to skip altogether. I just finished the Housemaid series, so I don't want to read another maid. Paris Apartment I did not really like, so I don't want to read the guest list. Verity I have. Too Late I could, but we're going to take a little hiatus on Colleen for a bit. I have these two, but I want to kind of hold off a little bit later in the year. Horror. I haven't read Indigo Ridge yet, and it would be a good one, but it's like a thriller romance. So we're going to hold off on those. Alice Feeney. Rock, Paper, Scissors. That could be a potential one. Guest House. Flicker in the Dark. Secluded Cabin, Sleep 6, maybe. That kind of gives cabin vibes. 6 Weeks to Live, no, that's more medical. Okay, let's have a look at the 4 that we have here. Okay, so we have 4 to choose from. I just realized I can't see. Put those bad boys on. Okay. So we'll start with the hardback. So we have Alice Feeney, Rock, Paper, Scissors. So this one, things have been wrong with Mr. and Mrs. Wright for a long time. Every anniversary, the couple exchange traditional gifts, paper, cotton, pottery, tin, and each year Adam's wife writes him a letter that she never lets him read until now. Self-confessed workaholic and screenwriter Adam has lived with face blindness his whole life. He can't recognize friends or family or even his own wife. And Amelia is sick of feeling unseen. When Adam and Amelia win a weekend away to Scotland, it might just be what their marriage needs. They both know this weekend will make or break their relationship, but they didn't randomly win this trip. One of them is lying and doesn't want them to live happily ever after. 10 years of marriage, 10 years of secrets, and an anniversary they will never forget. This cover doesn't give Scotland vibes. It gives more like Finland, Sweden. It's not speaking to me, to be completely honest. Okay, so our other hardback is Secluded Cabin, Sleep 6 by Lisa Unger. And this one, what could be more restful, more restorative than a weekend getaway with family and friends, an isolated luxury cabin in the woods, complete with spectacular views, a hot tub, and a personal chef. Hannah's loving and generous tech mogul brother found the listing online. The reviews are stellar. It's his birthday gift to Hannah and includes their spouses and another couple. The 6 friends need this trip with good food, good company, and lots of R&R, far from the chatter and pressures of modern life. But the dreamy weekend is about to turn into a nightmare. A deadly storm is brewing. The rental host seems a little too present. The personal chef reveals that their beautiful house has a spine-tingling history. And the friends have their own complicated past and secrets that run blood deep. How well does Hannah know her brother, her own husband? Can she trust her best friend? And who is the new boyfriend crashing their party? Meanwhile, someone is determined to ruin the weekend, looking to exact a payback for deeds long buried. Who is the stranger among them? This is giving a murder mystery, whodunit, who is he really kind of vibes. So, or a Knives Out kind of vibe with staff. Okay, we'll set that one to the side. Then we've got The Crash by Frida McFadden. So this one is on my top 25 for 25, so maybe. Tegan is 8 months pregnant, alone, and desperately wants to put her crumbling life in the rearview mirror. So she hits the road, not realizing that she's heading straight into a blizzard. Hours later, when Tegan is stranded in rural Maine with a dead car and broken ankle, she worries she's made a terrible mistake. Then a miracle occurs, and she is rescued by a couple who offers her a room in their warm cabin until the snow clears. But something isn't right. Staying here may have been her most deadly mistake yet, and a gut-wrenching story of motherhood, survival, and twisted expectations. Okay. I like that one better than the first two. And then That's Not My Name by Megan Lawley. So this one is about... Shivering and bruised, a teen wakes up on the side of the dirt road with no memory of how she got there or who she is. The police don't know where she came from until a frantic man arrives at the station. He's been searching for her for hours. He has her school ID, her birth certificate, and even family photos. He is her father. Her name is Mary, or so he says. When Lola slammed the car door and stormed off into the night, Drew thought that she needed some time to cool off. Except Lola disappeared. Now his friends, the sheriff, and the whole town are convinced Drew murdered his girlfriend. Forget proving his innocence, he needs to find her. The longer Lola is missing, the fewer leads there are to follow, and the more danger they are both in. This one sounds really good. It's a little bit, I think, more YA, since there's teenagers involved. So, I think I'm going to do The Crash. This one is a close second, but I think the snow in this is kind of put me over the fence on that. So yeah, we're gonna do The Crash by Frida McFadden, and then that way it's kind of a double whammy where we get snow vibes and hit my 25 books for 2025. So I am going to have a self-care night. I'm going to run a bubble bath, get a big old fat glass of wine, and we'll get started on this. It is the next day, and as you would have seen last night, I started The Crash. Frida has a way of making her books
really addictive and you can't put them down. And when you do, you're itching to get back to them. So I got a little over halfway. I started part 3 last night and kind of quit there. The whole concept of this book is Tegan is 8 months pregnant, gets into a car crash, and she can't move. She needs help. So along comes Hank, who is driving past. He lives nearby. He helps her out and brings her back to his place, who he shares with his wife. And Hank and Polly are taking care of her, and something sinister is to happen. And I don't want to give a whole lot away because with thriller books, a lot can be disclosed if I give too many hints away. But that is basically the description of the book alone. And we don't have a whole lot of information as of quite yet, but with Frida's books, her point of views are main character comes into effect for part 1, and then there'll be another character whose point of view is for part 2. Part 3, part 4 is usually like a combination of both point of views. So it's just like her Housemaid series in that sense, where we have multiple point of views. And part 3 that we're starting on is 2 days after the crash. So so far I'm really enjoying it. I really like Polly. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to like Polly, but we're liking Polly. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I love Frida's books. They're very fast paced. The Housemaid series wasn't as great for me. I really enjoyed the first book, and then the other 2 books felt very repetitive, where it's the same character and we have the same kind of things happen to us. It's just down the road and at different points in her life. So, yeah, there is one weird thing in this where with Tegan being pregnant, she calls, she doesn't have a name for her baby yet, but she really likes tuna, so she's nicknaming her baby Tuna. So that's a little bit odd. Like, of all things, tuna, really. Tuna? That's a weird one. So I'm going to carry on this probably tonight. I'm on my lunch break right now, and I had to get a rock chip done in my windshield. So I was reading this a little bit at the place. So I'm going to head back to work, read a little bit more if possible, and then we'll pick this back up tonight.
So it is the next day, and I finished The Crash this morning. I'm going to have to give it a 3.75 stars. Now, I really like Frida's writing. It's very captivating. It's very fast-paced. You don't want to put it down. I was making dinner last night, and I'm reading it as I'm cooking. So it's one of those books where it really captivates you, and you're like, what's going to happen next? So the biggest thing for me is, 1, Tegan. I don't like her character. I couldn't connect with her character. She's just insufferable. She's kind of a ditz, and she's very naive and moldable, where if you tell her something, she's gonna think about it and go, oh, yeah, you're right, and then disregard her own flight or fight kind of response. And then complain about things, but not really do anything about it without getting into too much detail. So her character overall is just, it was painful. I just couldn't connect with her. Polly and Hank, however, I want more of their story. So, like I mentioned, part 1, this is similar to the Housemaid, where Part 1 is Tegan's point of view and her story leading up to everything. Part 2 is Polly's point of view with Polly and Hank's story and background and how they got to where they are currently. And then part 3 and 4 is a mix of Tegan and Polly, kind of going back and forth between chapters. So Polly and Hank, I really enjoyed her chapters and their story. I wanted more of it. I want more background knowledge into their lives, and I didn't get it. I want more. I feel like we brushed the surface and we could have went a lot deeper with their background. And yeah. Plot line. I really love the plot line. It's great concept. We just need to go deeper. I found it very predictable, very repetitive, and 75% of this book is in the same location, same conversations that are being repeated over and over and over again. So that was a little bit frustrating. But I think nothing really like scary or exciting or jaw-dropping really happened in this as a thriller. The plot twists that did occur, yeah, I saw them coming a mile away. There was one that I didn't see coming, but it didn't really make sense. There was no sprinklings of clues throughout leading up to, like this happens at the very, very end of the book. There was no sprinklings of clues leading up to this. So it felt very tossed in, very rushed. So overall, it's fun, it's fast-paced, it's a great plot line. I just wish we could have went deeper. We could have added more to this storyline. We could have got a little bit more darker even, because potential was very much there. So overall, I'm going to give this a 3.75 stars. It was a good book, but if we would have went deeper, it would have been a great book. So overall, fun, fast-paced, just wish we would have went deeper. Nothing that's going to really necessarily stick with me or write home about. So yeah, that is the crash. So thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope everyone has a great rest of your week, and we will see you next Sunday. Bye.